Eric Trump is often seen as the dumb one, but I mean, I gotta hand it to him. He got something right. I mean, it just not in the way that he meant, but check it out.
It's not a political movement, Jesse. This is a movement of total love. These people love my father. He's not a politician, right? He's not a politician to them. He's literally a savior of this country, the one person who will take every literal and figurative bullet for this nation time and time again.
You are right, Eric. He's not a politician to them, and he is their savior. That's called a cult. We call that a cult.
I feel like I got to come out and support him. You know, he does so much for us.
What specifically, like, you know, people say that. What specifically has he done for you that gets you feeling that way?
He gives us a voice, and he kind of runs interference for us. I feel like, excuse me, but if he wasn't there, they'd be coming for us and clamping down on us. And
who's us in this case, like when you refer to that?
Well, I think of us as the American people, just the regular folk out here that are trying to make a living, working for a living. So,
like half of that us, though, you realize, believes that the other way, right?
I do, yeah. I do. And you make your own way through. It shouldn't be given to you like by the government. And I think the more we rely on the government, the less free we become. So I feel like he's about freedom and just, you know, giving us a fair shot and putting somebody in between us and the government that's trying to clamp down on us. So
it's all about this guy's, you know, feelings over the facts. It is a little they talk about, oh, you know, it's, you know, facts don't care about your feelings. They're the most feelings-oriented people I've ever seen. None of them can name policies. It's all like, you know, what did he do when he was president? Well, you know, I was making money back then. You know, and he did things because he's a businessman. There's never been a clear articulation of his policies from anyone that's, you know, not media trained. You know, from people that are media trained have their talking points, and even those kind of fall short. I mean, he did some billionaire tax cuts. He did the Abraham Accords. And, you know, depending on where you land with Israel, you know, it's how you're going to feel about the Abraham Accords. So, yeah, this is a cult. I mean, you know, this is, you know, we can't have a healthy debate anymore because it's all cult-like. It's all, you know, there's this alternative facts. Debates historically are about, you know, the future, right? We're talking about the future. We can't even agree that January 6th happened. We can't agree that COVID happened. And the list goes on of things that we can't even agree that Hurricane Helene and Milton are not, you know, bioengineered, cloud-seeded by the deep state, Soros-backed to get the lithium mines. Dude, come on. I mean, really, it's just like, So, yeah, this is a cult. And, you know, there's been, I don't want to say cult-like behavior, but there's been fandom on, you know, amongst the Kamala Harris side. And, you know, I'm sure, you know, when she's elected, you know, there'll be people that will say like, oh, she can just do no wrong. You know, that's going to exist statistically. I mean, there were probably people that were huge Biden lovers that, you know, will, you know, excuse the genocide or anything else that he's done. God, there are people that thought he won that debate, Biden. They were not in the numbers that made it a little scary, right? I mean, listen, if everyone had watched the debate with Biden and Trump and said, wow, like everyone unilaterally were like, wow, like we all watched that debate and were like, oh my God, we are so cooked. Oh my God, we are so cooked. Like, right? That's a normal reaction to seeing what played out and saying, this is terrifying. Like we are cooked. This is bad. This is not okay. So all of this, like I said, this is a cult. This is cult behavior. you probably at that rally you probably have a lot of union members there, which is terrifying to me that you have like his administration, everyone in his camp is anti-union. They do not believe unions should exist. They want to do away with union laws. They want to eliminate the Board of Education. They want to eliminate teachers' unions. I mean, he's probably like the most unfriendliest candidate to the labor movement at all. The only thing he has going for him is wanting to just literally put a wall around the United States so no foreign products could ever make their way in, or, you know, the products that he benefits from. But yeah, I love the fact that like online, like people that were there were saying it was like 17,000, 15,000. Eric Trump saying that rally in Butler was 100,000. There was a lot of people there. I will say that. And the one thing they did right for that rally is they got appropriate footage, like 360 footage that showed that there was an intimidatingly large crowd in Butler, Pennsylvania. And this is a state that Democrats cannot lose. They will lose the election. They would have to win every single swing state and every purple state, if you know, and just to make up for Pennsylvania. So it is concerning. At the same time, do I think all of those people were local Pennsylvania residents? Absolutely not. I would say that people came in from other states because it's Butler, it's historic, it's symbolic, it's, you know, historic to them, but it's symbolic, right? This is where he almost got killed. I still haven't made a joke about that. Am I going to make a joke about him getting killed? No, okay, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so like I think there were a lot of people that showed up, and he draws a crowd sometimes. Sometimes he does not. In this, there was a symbolism to it, and you know, I would say he did it right, and that was concerning. However, I have seen when I was at the Kamala Walz rally in Philadelphia, when Walz was announced at the Leah Cora Center, that Leah Cora Center was filled to the brim, packed to the gills with people that were on fire for a Kamala Harris, Tim Walz presidency. So yeah, and the last thing I will say is, do not believe a lot of the polls coming out right now. There's an incredible amount of garbage polls that are being pushed by the Trump campaign. If you look at Elon Musk, he is pushing like Polymarket, which is a betting site. And because more people are betting on Trump to win, he's using that as like, well, look, the polls obviously, you know, which is like terrible. That's not good data. That is horrific to say like, well, check this out. So there's a lot of like bad polling. There's ways to look at it. There's Spanier, which he is a phenomenal person. You can look at if you look up the people, the voter registration, and match the voter registration to when Kamala Harris's candidacy was announced, that's significant. Because there were huge bumps that we can't tell the party affiliation, but we know that that was the day that Kamala was announced, and that coincided with it. And these were massive spikes amongst different demographics. So, you know, this race is still making me sweat right now, and I have no idea what the hell we're going to do. But yeah, fingers crossed.